Is this not enough foam? It's not enough foam. Let's try again. I need the soap to foam. Okay. That's more than I would use. The first time was what I would use, but it's not enough. Okay, now it's foaming. It smells, I don't know, not really what I expected from Dawn. I think Dawn has another scent to it. And that's the blue stuff. What color is Dawn? Is it usually green? Uh-oh. That's Palmolive that's green. Oh, Palmolive, that's what my mom used to use. Palmolive, the green stuff. This is Dawn. So I guess it's blue? Okay. Okay. I don't have any paper towels to wipe off the soap. No. The paper towels, there were homeless paper towels here. I used them to clean the mirrors, but I don't have any paper towels left that I used to use for cleaning. What's left of the paper towels are a Charles Toe collection of paper towels here. And are they in here? Are those, I don't know what's in there, but that's paper towels right there. The whole bag is full of paper towels. I don't want to move them because they're heavy. They're paper towels and they're heavy. They're heavy and leverage. I don't want to move them. Charles Toe has been making paper towels felonies for as long as I've known him, and I can't get him to stop because he doesn't know what's wrong with it to myself. Nope, he doesn't know what's wrong with it to myself, and it's dyed right here. I can't use the paper towels that he had. Mitch had a mop today, but he used a paper towels to wipe up something that you're supposed to use a mop to do that. Yeah, well, if you cannot, you have to wait for the floor to dry because you're mopping it. So you pick up as much as you can with the mop and then wait for it to dry. So I need to go on with the cooking. I need to set the camera right here. And it's wet, full of soap, but it needed to be cleaned. Yeah. Well, I can wring out the sponge and try to wipe it down, but it still needs to dry. So, talking over the soap drying, it's not the same as boiling water. Do we have all our time stamps correct? If I talk for as long as it takes for the soap to dry, would that be, let's say it takes me some minutes to boil water. So I'll wait for the boiling water and then I'll put something in the boiling water, I'll use it. But how long do we take for the soap to dry? Does that take longer than boiling water? For me to set the camera down right here, I just need this part to be dry. There, now it's wet again. Now how long is it going to take to dry? Well, the camera is on, I can pause it, but the light is on if I pause it. Yeah, so that won't help. The light gets hot if I pause it and leave it too long. So a paper towel, I have this one left. This is one sample of what paper towel I don't have to clean with. And that's the wrong problem, to count the motions of what I don't have and what I need. You are supposed to make sure I have everything I need so that you don't find out I don't have anything missing. You don't find out that I have something missing. Okay, there, I just wiped that off, and I can wipe the whole thing off. But this is a paper towel I did not throw away. I could have thrown it away. I would not rely on this paper towel that I did not throw it away. No, that is not enough leverage that this paper towel has been used before. It's not enough leverage so that I can keep going. I'll just throw it out now. Now I'm going to take the sponge and clean up that I think that paper towel is unsanitary. Yeah, I certainly do. So how long does it take the soap to dry? Well, I don't want to waste. I have to, some of this soap has to go down the drain. Dish soap has to go down the drain, and I don't want to put it down the drain. I want to use it all. In fact, I want to wipe down this counter right here, so let's do that. That is a cockroach in there. Oh, can you see that? That is disgusting. I have to wash everything and use it again because I don't have anything else in its place. So, what about this pot? This one is covered, but that's not really why. This is the bowl I will need to use for dinner. And I want to wipe down this whole countertop in one sweep, but it's gonna look like this. This is just for cooking. This is really not due to live here. It's due to live in a new place to live. And I cannot say that to somebody, but I did make the threat in text message with a touch screen, and I sent it. I made the threat that I need a new house, and I did not receive a key from the cell phone number I sent it to. I didn't get any key, so I know it's not from that cell phone number. But I owed the threat, but I don't owe it anymore. I didn't get the key, so that means I don't owe it ever. Did I tell somebody that you owe me a key? Well, I am old. I would have had to say that when I was a 3-year-old, when I couldn't hold a key because I was too small to fit a key into a door lock and turn it. No, I was too small for that. I would not even try. Nobody asked me to try. So there's a cockroach in there. This is a clean counter, but there's a cockroach in here. Right there, that's it. And I need to clean this, but that is blocking the way. I don't have a place to set this down. So I set it down on a clean counter, more or less, that's clean. I would not really use it. No, I need a new house with everything new in it that's really clean just for me. So let me pause the camera and finish up here. Okay, I cleaned out everything here with extra. And that sponge, that there sponge. I can set up the camera this way now, and I can proceed, but it will be a little bit wrong to me because it's not due to eat anymore. If you see a cockroach in the kitchen, it's not due to eat anymore. Okay. This has a small amount of water in it. Out. Now I'm going to pour bottled water in here. And it's going to be 1 bottle for 1 pack of ravioli. But I took 2 bottles because I'm used to making soup. And I would use 2 bottles to make soup. But I'm going to hold one of these for another time. I didn't really realize that until now. But I didn't open it, so I'll just put it back. This is the lid. It's still like spots of water, but I can use it. Should I clean it? All right, I'll clean it. Okay. It still has spots, but I'll use it. I have a skin hive that I scratched, and it left a scab. Okay, rear off, high 987. I need to boil the water. Okay, this is what I'm going to boil. And then when I'm done, I need to heat up some of this sauce. It's refrigerated, so I'll need to heat it from cold all the way until it's hot. And I don't want it too watery this time. The sauce was a little watery last time, so I need to add more sauce this time. I received a delivery today, so I have more food, but I still don't have myself deceased under the door locking yet, because it's still going to come down to somebody's about to do something malicious in any of the directions, and they're going to come and take this whole apartment and lock me up outside and died outside homeless to myself, and I'll see it again, and that's not due to happen again. That happened already, and then I survived because I am in adultery. Yes, that's how I am in adultery for the past 3 years. I am an illegal, alive adultery of my soul. So, I am still waiting for myself to cease out of the door locking, and I can't say how. I can just say that I'm still here. You always have a chance to do something with yourself. But I don't know you, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, and I don't need you. So, pretty much, we'll see what happens. Well, if you were in line with myself being feminine genitals on the Godhead, you wouldn't hear me say, I don't know you, I don't trust you, I don't believe you, and I don't need you. You wouldn't hear me say that, explicitly to a camera and then post it on YouTube. And anyone can hear it anywhere at any time, as opposed to that I might say it in a context of who, what, when, where, why, and how. If you talk to me, I'm gonna die. Yeah. Why do you talk to me? I suppose you're killing me. Feminine genitals on the Godhead, not due to speak at all. Not due to speak English, not due to speak Espanol, not due to hablar Espanol, not due to speak at all. No Ivrit Hebrew, not due to speak Hebrew, not due to speak at all. Well, you're supposed to move everything around myself because it doesn't speak about my leverage. It speaks about, just my body to you, what I need for myself, what I need, That's not really my whole leverage. It's not just what I need. What I need, that's how I am, moving myself. But the heaven is moving the leverage that I am, or I don't really know because I have a head and genitals. I have to do this by hand because sometimes they, I'll show you. Okay. These two are together, so I'm going to separate them like that. So I use my hands for that. Is that about half? 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8. How many are in here? Maybe about 8. 2, 4, 6. Let's just leave it at 8. Yeah. So that's going to take about 4 minutes, and then I have to do the other half of the bag. What am I going to need? The bowl. I'm going to need the bowl. Well, it's still on 7. Should leave it boiling at 7. I don't actually know because I have this problem right here where I don't know why I have a skin disease and it doesn't heal immediately. It's a scab. It didn't heal and I don't want to tell you why because it's a scab. It doesn't know why. I'm the overlord, I made it, but the soul of the superior founder deceased, none higher than he deceased, none higher than he deceased and threatening, does not know why I have a scab on my hand, which makes me wonder, if this is my own hand and that's my scab, what makes you think you can diagnose me with an illness and get away with it? I might have that I need something, but I certainly don't need a diagnosis by some doctor who doesn't have a darn genital. Everybody say doctor, everybody doesn't have a darn genital. You're not a doctor. You're not a doctor unless you have a dong, and you're not alive that way. So with the little cockroach I just did the cleaning around, I would just move out. I would not just throw everything away that touched with the touch of the cockroach. That's not enough. I need to move out. And then I need God to make a way for me to be elsewhere. But he has not been doing that with police. And so I live with cockroaches because the police keep making cockroaches because they leave the scene of the call and it's not the dispatcher. Well, they keep receiving a call from the dispatcher and then they leave the scene of the address of the call by the dispatcher and they leave the dispatcher at the address in the threatening and the dispatcher is elsewhere making the call. They're not at that address. They receive the address with the report by phone. They don't actually are at the address and call 911 and get another response. And it was the dispatcher who did that. That's not alive. Well, that's what you keep doing, and I don't have a way out of the cockroach problem. Another thing, most of the police know that I'm not the dispatcher. Yeah, they do know that. Yeah, but they keep leaving the scene as though the dispatcher gave them clearance to leave because I'm not there anymore. They leave me right in my face that way. And that's not due to myself. You have a very strange police presence in my life. The police are enough to take my statement so I can record myself deceased, but you're not myself deceased and you don't mind the wrong way. Well, you have a uniform on and a gun and you're already wrong that way so that you can do something about your gun immediately. Well, your gun's due in a prison locked in there and not in public ever. If I see you with a gun, you owe me everything I need for myself. By that you solve that you have a gun when you're talking to me. Do you know what to do in case if you have a gun when you're talking to somebody who doesn't have a gun? When I was in Rossendale Hospital, year 2007, my first visit in there, the hospital asked me if I have a gun. In the hospital? Yeah, do I have a gun in the hospital? I was a patient. But the answer is no, I don't have a gun in the hospital. Who's asking me that question? They gave me it in writing. They gave me a piece of paper in writing. Do I have a gun? I do not have a gun in the hospital as a patient of Rossendale Psychiatric Hospital, Las Vegas, Nevada. I do not have a gun. That is not alive for anyone. Do I have a gun elsewhere? Is not in the hospital. No, I don't have a gun license is my answer to that. But they didn't ask me that question. Do you have a gun license? Well, I didn't have one in the hospital, so it's good they didn't ask me that. Nope, I don't have a gun license in the hospital. It's a locked-in hospital. They discharged me, even though they gave me that paper and accused me of having a gun. I don't have a gun in the hospital, so that's where it stays. You can't accuse me of having a gun and you discharge me from the hospital. I don't have a gun in the hospital. Nobody thinks that. You didn't know how to solve that problem? I knew how to solve that problem. I had to go on with the day. And the next day, and the next day, and here we are. So many days and weeks and months and years later. That was year 2007 in the beginning of the year. And this is year 2025, October. So if I answer the question in the paperwork, do you have a gun? And I answer no. And they find that I don't have a gun right there. Why would they move me? Well, they discharged me from the hospital, as you can see. Well, they didn't find somebody who had a gun. They want me to tell you who has a gun? Wouldn't somebody who has a gun license know that? Why don't you ask somebody who has a gun license if they know who has a gun? I don't have a gun license in the hospital. Nobody thinks that. Because I'm in the hospital, I only have whatever they give me in the hospital. I have what they give me to wear. I have what they give me to eat. I have the medicine they give me to take or not. I don't have that they gave me a gun in the hospital. Nobody thinks that. Those are cooked. This one's not cooked yet. These aren't cooked yet. I'm not here unless I have all the leverage. Do you think I'm an idiot? You want to leave me another comment about how you think I'm an idiot? You think I'm an idiot. Yeah, go ahead. What's stopping you? The comments are open. Alright, so it's another 4 minutes on these. So what's an idiot? If you look at public, do you know who's an idiot? If you're looking at one person out of public, do you know if they're an idiot or not? Let's say you only had to worry about yourself. Would you say either I'm an idiot or I'm not an idiot? Right? What's an idiot? Someone who identifies something individual over traveling. Identification individual over traveling. Well, if you're in public, you're in high-speed traffic, and it's impossible to find out who's an idiot because they are themselves. But what if somebody consumes something right in front of you? Yeah, maybe, but that's you consuming it if you're in public. If you're not in your own, my house, you consume that somebody's an idiot, and that's you needing to be there yourself, with yourself, to think that about itself. Yeah, so you can't really stay there in that thought. You have to sort of be disappointed that you see something that's less than divine. And with yourself, that's what you see with yourself, something that's less than ideal. I've been standing long enough on my feet. I would leave this right here, but I'm hungry, so I'm going to keep going because I'm hungry. Otherwise, I'm pretty much done with the cooking. Yeah, I don't really want to do this anymore. I want to lay down in the bed and rest. Don't say I'm lazy. I'm a retired athlete, and I didn't want to give it up. There are some things I don't want to do in life since I haven't been doing working out in the gym or playing tennis or other activity. But I used to work really hard when I was doing that. I used to work out in the gym really hard with nobody watching me, and I didn't care. And I still worked out really hard just for myself. Yeah, people use the gym. If I use the gym, there are other people who use the gym, but I don't have to know them personally. They just have to like to be there. And they don't have to be there. If it's the gym, they don't have to be there. The schedule is maybe that's a little worse. If I have a tennis schedule, then other people have to be there. Well, maybe I liked more like Saturday tennis lessons at my Fun Racket Club. I played 4 years of those lessons. 3 years, 1 year. Did I play that year? Because I had a knee injury, and I was out for a while from tennis. I couldn't play tennis for a long time. I might have gone back to those lessons. So maybe it could have been 4 years of those lessons. So it's one Saturday out of the week. Not like playing tennis for Homestead High School, which was 5 days a week. But if I play for just winter season of tennis lessons at the My Fun Racket Club, which is an indoors club in Wisconsin, you need to be indoors because it snows. That would be, maybe the people like to do that because it was just once a week. And they don't score you in the matches, they score like games, small games, like contests or something like that. Like, so the one I'm thinking of is King of the Court. Yeah, King of the Court. That was fun. No, I'm not King of the Court all the time, just once in a while. I am king, but I'm not King of the Court all the time. So drills. We do drills in that class too. So what's sometimes they set up a target for tennis at Mac 1 Racket Club, which would be 3 balls all touching each other like a triangle with 1 ball sitting on top, and try to hold it in a position like with the 3 on the bottom stay in one place and the one on top just sits there on top of the other 3 and it stays there. That's a target. I would hit the ball and try to knock those down, and they were fun. But I guess it's just me talking about that at this point, because you folks did not die out of tennis the way you were supposed to. So that you could play again, you have to be, if you play tennis, you can't just lose your tennis racket because you didn't hold a live of yourself, because that's against that it was fun to be at tennis. You can't just say to God, oh, well, it was fun while it lasted. You can't do that to the tennis ball. It doesn't want you to hit it if you're just going to be there for the time being. You have to play tennis with a tennis ball if you can afford the tennis ball's money. Yeah. Well, you're doing prisons, but I'm talking about when I was younger, and of course you're doing prisons because I grew my height, but that's what I used to do with my free time, was play a lot of tennis. Is this done? Keep going? Okay. Hope for the best. I want it to be hot and fully cooked. It looks good. I guess you could say it looks good. I did not get more of these delivered today, even though I like them, because they were not offered, or I would make more. Yep, I would make more. I got sauce, though, but I don't have enough to put the sauce on. These raviolis are dated, is why I'm using them. And then I also have an open jar of red sauce, tomato sauce. So I have to use that because it's as fresh as it will ever be right now. I'm going to eat with this spoon, but I need to use it to get the sauce out of here because I don't have all the proper utensils and things. Just use whatever there is. 2 spoons so far. 3, 4. Is that enough? Keep going. 5. Okay, that's like about half left in there. I may not get to the white sauce that was brought to me today. There are 2 of them. I did not drop this, although I would drop it, but I didn't drop it. Traditional Alfredo sauce. That would be good with these ravioli, but I'm on the red sauce right now. Yeah. Well, I need to cover this, but let me stir it first. I'm looking around for the cockroach that got away. You never know if it comes back. God forbid, but oh well, if I find it, it's better to try and catch it and put it outside. If I don't find it, I just wonder. I've been chasing cockroaches in my housing since, I guess, year 2001. Yeah. This is not really where I would set down. This is for eating, and I did just put this here because I didn't want it to make a bigger mess. But I need it, I guess, over here. Okay. I don't have everything I need here. This is makeshift. Not really how I want to leave it. I don't want anything to fall, so hope for the best. This camera has an AE/AF lock on it. I have seen that before. What about that? Is that the light? Okay. I moved it. Okay. So I watched a few minutes of Ellen DeGeneres today. She looks different now. I need her money, but I don't need her elsewhere. That means she looks like that because I look like this. And you can't just landlord what somebody looks like. I don't know Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know Ellen DeGeneres. I just know her show. She used to have a sitcom in 1990 something. But now what I see on the internet is what she had on cable TV in Nevada, Cox Cable. The Ellen Show. Ellen. Lowercase e, L-L-E-N. All lowercase letters. I don't have a home this way. I can't talk to you about Ellen DeGeneres because she owes me a key. But she made herself famous by that she didn't pay out a key to myself. And I've been waiting for my whole life for you to pay out a key to myself because I'm going to die if you don't. And you have been suffocating me with this. You're not going to give me what's mine to myself. And you get worse and worse because somebody else didn't pay out a key to myself. So you'd have something to start with if you're not that nice. So who's not that nice? How do you know who's not that nice? How does anybody know who's not that nice? So the bottled water is all used. I made it like as if it was ramen noodles. Yeah. I didn't use tap water and throw it down the drain. I use bottled water and it's all in here. So that's my new method so far, if I keep doing that. So this is still hot right here. Don't touch that. This one is not hot. I can touch it, but why? It's rusty. This one's not hot. We know that would have been those two knobs over there. And this is steaming, and we know why. I just cooked. So I can lift this with one hand. I need to sit down because I'm tired of standing up to cook. But I still need something to drink. Well, I want to say thank God for the food in front of me, but I am God deceased right here, and I don't have that. I can arrive at a store or a supermarket or restaurant where food is, and that I can get it because I'm God. Nope, I can't. You guys requirement payments, and you don't know where the payments come from, and I don't know myself that way. That means when you press charges on somebody, they don't know why, because it's due that if you want to make a payment, that you're threatening that the person who is going to receive the payment is the one who's being threatened. If you have the money, you're making the threat. And it's not true when you make a transaction with somebody who's making a charge. Pressing charges, like you can't leave with permission unless you pay the transaction, then you get permission. So that's when somebody would say, so what is the meaning of the transaction if I have to pay a charge? And then everybody doesn't know. Everybody doesn't know. We all don't know. So Joellen Myroff, she doesn't want to pay that way. She doesn't want to pay transactions for Becky because nobody knows what they're worth. And she went through so many years of school education with myself. And then I don't know what she was doing when I wasn't at Bayside Middle School anymore. Did she not go to school anymore? Was she homeschooled after that? Because I wasn't in public school anymore. I went to another public school, but not at Bayside Middle School. I wasn't there anymore. I moved in the middle of 7th grade. Joellen and I were sharing a locker in 7th grade, and I got moved out of her locker to another house, to another school. What's wrong with it? That's not paid for. Why wasn't Joellen moved out of my locker and moved to another house and moved to another school if she wasn't going to go to school anymore anyway, because I wasn't there? Maybe she went. Is everybody in school? Is everybody in school now? Where are you when I'm not there? What are you doing when I'm not there? Because you want me to pay transactions and I don't know who's where when I'm not there. How am I supposed to pay you anything? Ever. If you're not in front of me, I don't know where you are. There's no way I could pay you any money. It would be worth anything to me. I heard Mrs. Myroff or Mrs. Bev Myroff say that she's a teacher for a Catholic school in Milwaukee. And I don't know what that means because I've been to Milwaukee, but I only know certain little places. I don't really know how to get around Milwaukee. It's not really alive for me. So if she's been somewhere in Milwaukee to a Catholic school, I wouldn't know which one or where or what. I don't know. Yeah, but I've been locked out of her house enough times to mention it. Yeah. What's wrong with it? I'm about done with this camera. I don't owe any more videos, but I'm still here. I need presence of mind. I need to do things for myself. So I'm making videos, posting them on YouTube for my presence of mind. Okay, I just got sauce on myself. Yes, I did. I played around with it too much. Well, I'm trying to spread it out evenly. Okay, this is going to have to go in the laundry. This is what it looks like.